Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee with a week 5 garden update and tour. Look at all those beautiful yellow flowers in there. And I got patty pans in there. This thing's going absolutely berserk. And you know what? For those of you who get overrun with squash vine borers, I sprayed this plant. I keep it sprayed with BT. And look at how beautiful it's doing. And take a look. Right there. There's a patty pan. There's quite a few of them down deep in there. But this one's doing good. I had to stake it up. It's so huge. And my front yard, it's early. It's like 7:30 in the morning. So it's early and it's wet because I've been watering stuff all night long because it's so dry and it's so hot up here. It's crazy, but this is all going absolutely wild. So with that, there's my mint and my thyme and my curly and scarlet kale. It's doing very good in there. And then here, look at my little plant my mother gave me. It's so cute. It's got herbs in there. But see the parsley? The parsley died. I think it's just too wet for the parsley. So I'll have to pull that out of there. Anyway, just take a look at how pretty those are. My zinnias are gorgeous. Aren't they pretty? And my marigolds are getting ready to bloom. See, I got a starter there. This is all flowers in here, except that little sage plant. Not little, that huge sage plant in the front. And then my morning glories in the corner. They're doing so good. And then there, look at how big these onion sets are. And for those of you who have emailed me about these onion sets, I'll be sending them out on Friday. Isn't that nice? There's going to be a lot of them. Look at this one. If I let it go, it would wind up reseeding itself in my green bean bed. So that's going to be going. But that's how they do. They get real heavy like that, and then they just fall over, and they'll reseed themselves. That's how they walk across your yard. Anyway, I told one of the gals that emailed me for onions, for walking onions. She said that her husband has been trying like crazy to find them, and he could never find them. Look at that, how that threw off more sprouts. Isn't that something? Anyway, just so you all know, I looked for these. I looked and looked and looked, and I couldn't find any either. Well, where I found them was across the street from me. They were growing wild in the ditch. So you probably years and years and years ago, somebody that had a house built over there had Egyptian onions growing in there. So I took as many sets from that as I could get, and I brought them over here. And I've had them now for about 7 years, I think. So my beans are doing good. And I've got little beans on them. So they're starting to produce for me. And boy, that's going to be a chore keeping up with all that. And then my other onions, I've been harvesting some of the tops and using them fresh. And my peppers are doing, oh my gosh, incredible. They're just loaded with peppers in there. And you can see one right down there. There's one of them. There's another. They're all over in here. My peas, oh friends, I don't want nobody to laugh at me. Look at my peas, how bad they are. I was on my riding mower and I accidentally hit that trellis. Don't ask, and I won't tell no more. but I wiped out a bunch of my peas, so they're not doing too hot. This over here, on the other hand, is doing really good. And I got green beans coming up in that bed where I harvested that rutabaga. And just look at this. This is my birdhouse gourd. Look at it, just working its way right up that fence. And then on this side, that one's working its way right up the fence. And the Brussels sprouts are doing good. Now, I trimmed them up the other day and I staked them up so that they wouldn't fall over and break. This is my zucchini bed, and that's doing absolutely fantastic. I've gotten so many zucchini off that. And look at over there, my scarlet runner beans. They're going crazy. And pretty soon, the hummingbirds are going to come visit. Now, I've already had the hummingbirds. Well, you can't see it. That little blue and red hummingbird feeder up there. They've been frequenting that. But they're going to start. They're going to find these flowers from these scarlet runner beans. And they're just going to love it. They're doing gorgeous. Coming up that trellis. It's just beautiful. These trellises were a nice investment. See that bean? I'm just going to kind of wind him around there. Watch, just like so. Maybe he'll stay, maybe he won't. I think I got him. Okay. That's doing good in there too. Look at that tomato's gone mad. Let's clear past the stake. My morning glories, or my marigolds, are starting to bloom. They're doing good. My nasturtiums in there are doing good. I harvested quite a bit of this basil, and it's already, back up, and it's already full again. So I'm going to harvest more and package it up in my little bags and start drying it. And my friend David was here yesterday, and I gave him the first English custard squash off here. There's another one going there. This plant's doing really good. I got 2 plants in there, and they're both doing very well. And of course, my French tarragon and thyme and my nasturtiums there. And then my little barrel of herbs there. They're all doing good. So it looks like a jungle out here in my front yard, especially that hot mess over there. But it's just, I love it. It's beautiful. And my garden this year is doing so well. My yard, well, I got to mow my grass. But friends, it's been 90 to 100 degrees, blazing sun. And even though I've been watering, this is all watered all the way through here because, of course, of my garden. But I don't want to mow my grass because I'm just so afraid that I will burn it. I'm going to show you something over here. This is my huge mulberry tree. And the mulberries are coming on this like crazy. Tell you, they're all over the ground. If you can see that. Hang on. I gotta wait, my phone is dusty. And the sun's in the way. But see the mulberries in there? They're all starting to ripen. They're looking good. They're all over the ground. This is just humming with bees. So I got to get out here and pick some of these mulberries. Because look here. They're absolutely delicious. I love them. They are so sweet. You can almost make a pie with them and not use any sugar. This is my entryway. I repainted all this. All the way down my stairs, the walls, and up there my little rooster with some of my herbs hanging. Well, the other day when I did the baskets, that's where they hang. Right in there on my coat rack. I wanted to show you. And because this gets rained in quite frequently, I leave that window open so it gets a little misted with rain. I put a shower curtain for a curtain. Good idea, huh? See that? It's a shower curtain. And it works beautiful. Okay, enough of that. This one's doing phenomenal too. Look at those tomatoes. Way up over the stakes. I'm gonna have to get more stakes and get in there and tie them up, tie them up some more. My peppers, my nasturtium went mad here, but my peppers are doing good. My basil and my tomatoes, I'm so pleased with it. There's just so many of them. This is a yellow plum tomato. See the little tomatoes on there? And I got more there. This bush is just loaded with them. More there. That bush has got lots of tomatoes. And this one has got lots of tomatoes. I wanted to show you my beautiful Black Beauty tomato. Look at it. It's a nice size. They're not going to be huge like beefsteaks or anything like that, but look at how the top is already it gets like a real dark purple. Just gorgeous. And my Cosmo are coming up where my hostas are. I planted 4 pretty Cosmo in there. And this bed is doing really good. These are all Roma tomatoes, and I put stakes in there because they started to fall over. They've already got buds on them. The peppers in here already have flowers, so they're doing really good. These got little flowers down here. So these are all doing really good. And remember, look at this over here. My corn's doing good in here. But remember, I showed you this bed, and these plants looked so sad in the beginning, but I didn't have the heart to throw them out. And I couldn't find anybody who could use them at that point in time. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to replant them. I'll build a bed just for them. And you know what? They'll grow. And look at them. They're doing exceptionally well. So I'm very pleased. My plants in here, my tomato plants are looking kind of sad. I think that one's got, something serious going on with them, something alarming. I'll have to get in there and take care of that. But that's also got a lot of tomatoes on it. Now remember, this one I found, in the greenhouse. My mother was in my greenhouse and she found that way in the back under the shelf. And she said, oh my gosh, look there's a tomato plant in there. And I can't believe that thing survived because it was hot in that greenhouse and it was without water for like a week or 2 weeks, maybe even 3. It was without water for a long time, and I thought for sure it would die. Well, I brought it out. I gave it some water. I put a stake in there so I wouldn't disrupt the roots, and look, it's already producing fruit, and I didn't think it would. And this one's doing good. This one's got quite a few tomatoes on it. Over here, yeah, my corn's doing real good. And my squash is already starting to blossom in there. I'm so pleased. My marigolds are getting ready to set out buds. And my tomato plants over here in these containers, even though I keep them watered, look at how sad they look. But it's just this heat, and it gets real cool at night. It gets down about 50 degrees at night, and then it shoots up to, between 90 and 100 during the day. So they are stressed, but they're still producing fruit, so I know they're not diseased. And look, this is not going to happen. I don't want grass growing in there. But yeah. And this one, it looks like it's got some blossom end rot. See that? That is not good. This one's got it too. That's blossom end rot. Well, we're going to take those off there. I had that last year with one of my tomato plants. It seems like I always get that with one or two of my tomato plants, and every one of this one on this tomato plant has got blossom end rot. See that? I'll have to go through a video and show you how to get rid of that, how to take care of that, or how to treat that. Okay, I'm going to show you something real pretty over here. That's called a black poppy. Isn't that pretty? She's going to start blooming. She's just starting to open up. That's why she looks so shaggy. Looks like she's half dead, but she's just starting to open up. She's beautiful. See, these ones are good. These don't have blossom end rot. It's just that one plant. So the rest of my tomatoes are doing good. It's that one. And it seems like every year I get one. This is I think this is a yellow plum. So I'm going to get you in here. I'm going to move this aside. And look at that pretty face. Aren't those gorgeous? And way up here is a pretty lemon yellow sunflower. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. Such a pretty little face. I love sunflowers. Look at the buds on them. They just are so pretty. That's all my greens. And that friends is doing real good. That's my not my broccoli, but my Brussels sprouts in there too. And those are doing quite well. Brussels sprouts take a while, so I won't be harvesting them till probably pretty close to, late summer, early fall. And I got more sunflowers in here. Look at that pretty thing. All of them, they're so pretty. I just love how they bloom. That one's not blooming yet, but it's gonna throw off a bud. This is all flowers. And I love flowers just as much as I love my vegetables. But look, my 4 o'clocks are starting to bloom. And aren't they just an absolute pretty color? They're just starting to open up. Look at that color. It's like a scarlet. And in this bed, my middle bed, I've got my marigolds and my nasturtiums on the edge there. I've got cabbage and kale and cucumbers, and I had beets in there, and I harvested most all of my beets out of there, and they turned out pretty good. I'm going to do a video on pickled beets. Now, I have a real serious problem with my cabbage here, and you can see I've got either cabbage worms or cabbage loopers. When you see holes in your leaves like that, that's either loopers or worms. And look at, they've just about demolished that leaf. And this one over here. Now I treated this with BT. Okay, I sprayed it real good. And they say it takes about 3 days for it to take effect before it actually kills all the worms and the loopers and the cabbage worms. Look at this. They say if you turn the leaf over, you could probably see them under there. But they're so hard to find, I usually can't see any. And they blend right in with the leaf. And I don't see any under here at all. But there's got to be, because look at, he's just a munching on that. Or was. Unless they're all dead now from the BT, which I'm hoping. That's where my beets were, and I'm gonna clear that out, and I might put a few rutabaga plants in there. And then here is my big squash bed. I've got 5 or 6 plants in there, and they're doing good. I get a lot of squash off that every day. Now it's just going like crazy. They're doing real well, with the exception of the one plant I lost in there. But I treat that with BT as well because of the borers. And the chickens are all doing good. You can see how big they're getting. They're like 10-pound birds now. Look at how chubby they are. They're so healthy. And I think I got happy birds because I get lots of eggs every day. They're looking at me, but I already gave them treats this morning. They're looking for more. What you doing, Charlie? Huh? What you doing, Charlie? Look at your pretty face. Are you out here in the morning checking for mice? Are you thinking you're hunting for mice or birds? You're a good girl. You're a good girl. And the potatoes are doing good. I had a little bit of, oh gosh. I don't see them anymore either. I come out here one morning and I found probably 5 or 6 potato bugs on here. It was in this area, right in here. And they were right on the tops of the plants. And you know, I don't always like to use poison on anything. I like to do everything as organic as I can. But I did spray these few plants over here with a little 7. So I come back out the next day and they're all gone, and they haven't been back since. So I'm hoping that's going to be okay. Actually, I see another one right there. See them? And you know what? There is a couple up here, so I may have to treat this again. See them? Those are potato bugs, and they will destroy your potatoes in no time. So I'm going to have to spray a little bit more on them. And that's all right, I will. I'll put a little diatomaceous earth on them as well. So, anyway, there's the broccoli, and that's doing really good. And this trellis here, the beans have climbed. Almost, they have reached the top of the trellis. Aren't they just beautiful? I just love that. I love stuff growing up on trellises. My tomatoes are over there. The cucumbers are doing really good through here. They're doing nice. I got some nice cucumbers going on here. I'm just letting them get a little bit bigger. The beans are doing good. They're growing up their nice trellis there. Those were supposed to be bush beans, bush beans, but they wound up being pole beans. And this is my yellow squash. And see, every day, I like to pick them just a little bit bigger than that. I don't like them too big. And I guess up at the farm, when my sister-in-law went up there, she picked a great big huge laundry basket full of yellow squash and zucchini squash. So we have to go up there and keep it. I have to keep a better eye on it now. So cucumbers are doing good over here, and so are my cabbages. Now my cabbages got a few little holes in them, but I did spray them real good too. They weren't as badly attacked as the other ones. So hopefully, this is the 3rd day. Hopefully I can get rid of them. These beans are doing good. And old Mr. Rooster. This, I'm not sure what this is. I haven't any idea yet. But this is what's growing on it. If anybody knows what that is, please tell me. Just tell me what the unknown squash is. I think it's a squash. My granddaughter, Stella, decided she wanted to plant a little container of flowers. So she planted a package of bachelor buttons. And look at how pretty they're already starting to bloom. She's going to be so excited when she sees that. My broccoli is getting huge. It is like tall. And I don't know how long broccoli takes. I didn't look and see. But that's going to have some major heads on it when it does go. I saved the last of my lettuce to give to the chickens. And I give them a nice handful every couple days. look at, I got a volunteer tomato plant growing amongst my flowers in my big flower bed. I just discovered that. And look, he's already got blossoms on him. Okay, friends, I'm gonna have to cut this short. My camera's gonna die on me. But this so far is week 5 and everything is doing fantastic. So there you have it, friends. That's my garden update for week 5. Everything's doing fantastic except my grass. I got to get it mowed, but that'll have to wait until this weekend. We're supposed to get a break in this heat wave. So you have a good day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you tomorrow.